Hi guys, so what I'm going to show you guys how to do today is put together your word collage. So I'm going to show you how to do 5 letters first, and then I'm going to show you how to do 2 rows, so maybe like your first name, last name, something like that, or maybe you even want to do like the whole alphabet. And then you're just going to need your photos that are in JPEGs. Hopefully you exported them from Lightroom or wherever you got them. And then let's get going. So I'm going to go File, New. So I'm going to create a new document. And then for 5 letters, I put my width on 11 inches. So make sure it's on inches and not pixels. 4 for the height. And then the orientation is landscape. And then the resolution 300. And I made it this way so I could print 2 on 1 piece of photo paper. Okay, so I have this nice blank canvas. So I always like to go back to my Move tool. And then I'm going to go to View, Guides, and I'm going to do a new guide layout. So this is kind of set up from the last time. I don't like how it's on pixels. I always usually put it on inches. But so the number of columns should be 5 because we're going to do 5 letters. Rows is 1 because we're only doing 1 row of letters. And then this, I like to put it on 0.25 inches. And then same here, 0.25 inches. And then same with the margins. So 0.25 inches. Sorry. Inches just makes more sense to me. If you like it the way it looks, I don't know what yours is automatically set on, you can leave it. It's really just about how you like it to look. So, and just to be clear, margins are what's around your document. So this would be the right margin, the bottom, left, top, and then the gutter is these spaces in between. So gutter is here, margins is around, and then you can set a fixed width and height for your rows. We're not going to do that. So I'm going to say OK. So now I'm going to start adding in my images, and I'm going to use the frame tool. So if you go down, the frame tool is this box with an X. And I'm going to go in the corner, and I'm going to pull. And then you can do import image. If this bar doesn't show up for you, if you go to Window, Contextual Taskbar, that's what it is. You can also go to File, Place Embedded. It's the same thing. I'm just going to use this because it's there. And then you got to find your images. Hopefully you saved them somewhere good. And then I didn't label these very well, obviously. Alright, so there's one. And then I will show you how to come back and edit these, but if it's not fitting the way you want, you can do Control T. And you can see as I move it, it's moving within that frame. So it's kind of stuck in there, which is nice. So you don't have to recrop it or anything. So I can kind of get it where you want. Just make sure you don't have any like little space down there. And I'm just gonna leave it right there. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my frame tool. Remember, if you want to move anything, always go back to your Move tool. So I'm going back to my frame tool. Import, or you could do File, Place Embedded. Let's find an eye. I'm just going to go to the next one. So I'm trying to get it right in that corner. And then it will like click into place. Let's see. Okay. Okay, and then, oops, that's the wrong one. Also make sure that if you have two of the same letter, you have two different pictures, so it looks better. Okay, so I have my frames. I'm back on the move tool right now. So let's say you want to adjust one of these. If you go down to your layers right here, you want to pick the picture. So I'm on the N, and then I'm going to do Control T. And as long as you're on that picture, it will stay in the frame. You can adjust it. And I just hit enter. If I just click on this, now I'm moving it. I don't want to do that. So if it's here, you're just going to move the whole picture, and I don't want to do that. So make sure if you want to go back and adjust, you're clicking on this part of that layer. And then Control T, make it very smaller. I mean, I could rotate it if I wanted. You can do this. So I'm going to do Control Z to undo. Alright, so now the last thing to do is to change the background color if you want to. You can leave it white, there's no problem with that. But if you want to change the background color, you're going to hit the background layer right here. You're going to go to the paint bucket, which might be on the gradient tool. So paint bucket, and then I'm going to click this. Yours might be white. And then you're going to pick a color. Let's do pink. And I'm going to, ta-da! You could also do a gradient if you wanted to. So if I go to my gradient tool, and then up there, remember, is where the colors start. I could go here, over here, and then I could play around with the gradient. And then we've done this before. You can make it line, circle, but that's if you kind of want to do some fun colors in the background. So I'm just going to leave it like that, sure. And then always make sure to go back to the move tool. Then to see how it looks without these guides, I'm going to do Control H. And then I can see, I'm just going to leave it pink, so I'm just going to delete this layer by dragging it to the trash can. And then if this is where you're stopping, you just go File, whoop, Export as a JPEG. Make sure you save it as a JPEG. Alright, so next I'm going to show you how to do 2 rows. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to do 2 rows. So we're going to go back to File, New. We're going to do, instead of 11 by 4, we're going to do 17 by 11. Resolution 300 pixels an inch. And we're going to go to Create. And I'm going to Control minus to zoom out. So we're going to go back to our guides. So we're going to do New Guide Layout. And so now we kind of need to change things. So you need to think of what is the longest amount of letters in whatever word you are. G-I-E-S-E. G-I-E-S-E-R. So mine is 6. My last name's 6. And then we're going to do 2 rows. So now we have to think about our margins. So again, I like to put these in inches. There's probably a setting where I can make it automatically go to inches, but I haven't done that yet. So I like it this far apart, 1/4 of an inch. So now our margins, let's start with just 1 inch and see how that looks. So 1 inch, 1 inch, 1, 1. So these are a little bit long, right? So what I want to do is kind of make these a little bit more square. So I'm going to kind of play around with this size. So this is all going to depend on the amount of letters you have. Oops. I'll leave that 1 inch. So I'm going to play around with the top and the bottom and see 1.25. See if that makes that a little bit better. And then we can always kind of mess with things. So let's see, what do we do? 0.5 there. Ooh, too much, right? So let's leave that at 0.2. And then how about this one though? Because this is the middle gutter. Oh, okay. I like that a little bit better. And then we can always crop and adjust margins later. So this is where I'm going to leave mine. Play around with it just so these are a little bit more normal photo shape and not just like these super long rectangles. Okay. So now I'm going to start adding in my letters. So if you remember, I'm going to go to the frame tool. And remember, my first one is just my first name's only 4 letters. So I am going to just start over here and then we'll adjust it later. So I'm going to go import. Oops, that's the wrong one. So make sure your letters are where you want them. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up while I do it because I've already shown you how to do this. This one I definitely need to fix. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do Control T. There we go. So I might not have made the frame right. Then I hope you notice, and some of them I kind of went over. I didn't quite get the frame where I wanted it. But that looks good. So I just adjusted. So make sure when you're pulling your frame, it fits that little rectangle. Alright, so now I have my first and last name. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't want this big space here, you could put another picture here. I mean, you could put some like whatever you want right here, but I want this to be on top of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these. So these layers. So I'm actually clicking and holding shift. You can go here and I'm holding the shift key. So I'm selecting all these layers together. And I'm going to kind of move them. So when you see that pink line come up, that means it's in the middle of the paper. So you kind of just want to measure it out and get it where you want. Luckily, like my name's 4 letters, so it fits right in the middle. So yours might not fit exactly, so you're just going to have to mess around with it till it looks how you want. I mean, you can rotate them. It doesn't really matter. It's your work. You do what you want. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Actually, I want to fix this one right here because I see a little corner. So I'm going to do like selected. I'm going to Control T. I'm going to pull that just a little bit like that. Okay, like that better. So now I'm going to do background. And let me see. Maybe I'll do a gradient first. Tell I'm a fan of the gradient. And then I'm going to go here. I'm also a fan of Blurple. I like blue, violet. Oh, and see how this is see-through? I don't want it see-through, really. And so I can play around with it. Alright, so you guys already know I can do this stuff forever. So I'm just going to do a background color and not have you guys watch me mess around with the gradient. So I'm going to go back to the move tool. Or with the gradient, you always have to go back to the move tool. I'm just going to turn that off. Then I'm just going to go to paint bucket, pink. It wasn't going to the trash can for me, so I just right clicked and deleted it. I'm going to do Control H to see how it looks. And again, I can, like, let's say I want to make these bigger. I can hold my Shift key, select those layers, do Control T. I could move them all as a group, like this if I wanted. And then you can see how it kind of like clicks into place as you move along. You can just find the middle. Since my background's pink, I'm not seeing that pink line. Then I can make those a little bigger. You can crop it and crop the margins better, because you see I have less margins here or there. I'm just going to put it back. So it's up to you. You can play around your background, and then once you are done, you're going to do File, Export as JPEG, and then don't forget to turn in your work, and I hope you had fun with this. I really like doing this stuff. Good job, guys.